Okay, moving on to question 9. What was
Mhm.
the greatest lesson you learned while hiking?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm really bad. I don't know if people can tell. I'm really bad at picking one thing for any
It's
of the
tough.
answers.
It's
Yeah.
really tough. These questions are there's a lot of thought that has to go into this because it's hard to choose just one. It's hard to choose
Mhm.
just one lesson. It's hard to choose just one nice thing someone did for you. But
Yeah.
yeah, maybe just you can give multiple
But
answers too
yeah,
because I know it's tough to choose just one. But
I
yeah.
guess like has an overarching answer, like kind of learned about myself and what I value in terms of, you know, the environment I like to be in, the resources around me. Um, one thing I didn't realize was how much I like missed that I didn't get the opportunity to hike in snow and be around snow and things like that. And getting to see snow on like literally like 10-foot patches a couple times on trail. It snowed on us like, gosh, for maybe like 15 minutes in Washington. But that was something that I don't think I realized like how important it was to me until like I expected it to be there and was missing it. So that was interesting. But yeah, kind of just learning to, again, going back to the community, like um, really like found like a sense of belonging in this community that I have felt other places, but it's like different in some way. I think even if on the surface, like obviously there's people from all sorts of backgrounds, but there's some sort of like common understanding, I guess, among through hikers, and it really is like I think a group of people that can have this really interesting connection and unique senses of humor and stuff like that sometimes. So that was like I think I found that community and I like learned that I want to stay a part of that community. And I think kind of along with that, like I had there were still certainly times where like I was like pretty reserved because I'm used to having like kind of like a really tight, like close knit group of friends. So kind of learning myself like how and that I should be like more open to kind of like expanding and having this like bigger network of like acquaintances and new people and that just because I like met these people very early on doesn't mean like I can't make like great relationships with other people. I think I also learned like on the negative side of things that I could be a little more like type A than I realized because I've always pretty much considered myself an easygoing person. And I think in general, I still am um, compared to like a lot of non through hiking people. But I think being around other people and, seeing how I reacted to like having to change plans quickly or, having to get errands done and stuff like that, I saw kind of like a bit of like this more stressed out side of myself come out. So that was kind of uh I think useful to reflect on and now like taking that into like um the real world and seeing how I like react to different situations.
Hmm. Yeah, you learn so much about yourself on trail.
Hmm.
Definitely. Yeah. Nice. Okay, last question
Hmm.
for the bulk of our interview. Do you have any advice for aspiring through hikers?
Yeah, I mean definitely like love to get in touch with people regarding like the nitty-gritty details, and I think there's like a lot of resources available for that. I had very specific questions that it helped getting in touch with people, but I think like more of like on a broader scale, like I really appreciated the advice that other people gave me. Like I mentioned that there will always be someone on trail who knows more than you. Um, if you have the desire to do it, and so long as you can obviously stay healthy and not be injured and other circumstances come up. But other than that, like, it really is, especially for the PCT, compared to other trails, it really is like mental challenges, more so than physical challenges, that kind of get a lot of people and end up being what cause some people to leave trail. Or I think a lot of like through hiking is just like having the, I guess, push to get over the fear to start in the first place. So I think that's what like advice I generally like to give, is that like, just because you haven't done something to as big of a scale before doesn't mean that you won't be able to. I have actually, like, my dad has gotten really interested in like from following me, but he's like, oh, I wish I did, something like that when I was younger. I won't be able to retire until such and such year. And I'm like, there are so many people I met who are, in their 70s and they're hiking and things like that. So I actually met two. There was a girl, Littlefoot, who was 5 hiking, and she actually ended like, she was at the terminus and her parents, like, as I got to the terminus. So and that's on the other range of things. But I guess basically, like, there are certainly a lot of factors that do limit people from through hiking, but I think to try not to let the fear of the unknown stop you from starting in the first place. But also too, like, I don't think people should go into it completely unprepared. One thing that was kind of interesting in hiking with some people, particularly who were like more familiar with the Sierras and stuff like that, noticed that kind of like their sense of other people knowing about like LNT principles and stuff like that was going down. So that's kind of was interesting. Like, I came from a place where I wasn't necessarily a backpacker, but have a degree in biology and then ecology, and lived and worked with people who are very like much outdoor recreationists and like talk about these things a lot. So I guess like do the background experience where it is necessary in terms of safety for yourself, maintaining the environment. But other than that, like, you can learn and do learn along the way.
Yeah, good L&T plug there.
Yes.
Yes, 'cause it's so important, and I
Hmm.
definitely noticed that too. Not everybody totally knew
Hmm.
all of the principles, so that's definitely important. Yeah, for the new hikers out there, definitely go over your L&T principles. Great and great. Thank you. Great advice for the through hikers or the aspiring through hikers out there. Um, yeah, part of the battle is just starting. So
Yeah.
very well said. Very well said.